So only yesterday, at the time of recording, Brian Shaw announced on a Shaw Strength channel that we have the second strongest man on earth athlete lineup. So there were 16 athletes to be named. However, he only named 14. He said that in the video there's 2 spots open. Roughly 10 guys, he said on paper, have like a shot at getting the last 2 spots. So we have 14 athletes. So to start off, we have, as probably everybody expected, Hafthor Bjornsson.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, and especially with the first one being max deadlift
raw.
So probably Thor will try to get the world record. Probably
Officially.
Officially with no suit, 505. I think it's achievable for him because his deadlift didn't lose any.
It just got better.
Yeah, it just got better basically, you know. So kind of makes sense that he's invited.
Second then on the list, we have the second place finisher from last year, and that is Mitchell Hooper. Again,
yeah, no surprises
there. No surprise.
No.
The next athlete then we have is Tom Stoltman. Again, like,
yeah,
going to keep saying this for the next couple of athletes. Like, it makes sense. So the next athlete then, which some people might think is a bit odd as such, but that is Trey Mitchell.
Yeah. He's coming back after that horrendous Achilles injury.
Horrible injury, Rogue Invitational.
Yeah, in Rogue Invitationals, yeah. And he has World's Strongest Man coming up. So we'll see how he looks in World's Strongest Man. And the Shaw Classic is in
August.
So still plenty of time to recover. If he re-injures or does anything, I don't know, silly.
Well, look, I just think Trey Mitchell, like this early on in the Shaw Classic or Strongest Man on Earth, if he's fit, he deserves to go. Like, he's 2-time
100%.
champion.
Yes, yeah. When you have all these accolades, like at this point, he won it 2 years in a row, you know. So he deserves to be invited, and I don't think that injury sort of will affect him that much. Especially, it's gonna be now at that point in August, he'll be like pretty well conditioned, especially with World's Strongest Man out of the way. So I think it makes sense that he's invited.
The next athlete then, and I think was actually the first athlete announced by Brian Shaw on, say, the Strongest Man on Earth Instagram page, and that is Evan Singleton. Again, another great competitor when he's fit, when he can finish the competition as such. But like always, look, I genuinely think any competition that Evan is in, he's a contender for getting onto the podium.
For the podium, yes. Now the question is...
That's why I said podium.
Yes. The question is, can he win a major competition like Shaw Classic, World's Strongest Man, Arnold Classic? I don't know.
2 years ago, he realistically was at like his peak as to when he could have won a competition.
Yes.
However, the health conditions, I suppose, are the things that let him down. Like, it was, again, like we said in the last video, it's your body letting you down rather than you yourself.
It seems like on the first day of the competition, he's like doing really well, and then the second day, like in Arnold Classic and Shaw Classic as well, he just seems like he fades a little bit, you know. If he can get that under control, I think he potentially can finish, like you said, podium or even win the major competition. But he needs to figure out what is he doing wrong. And we spoke about before, I think we speculated that he wasted way too much energy with his, I know, demeanor as such, you know, during, when he's lifting and just all that stuff. So I don't know. He
needs to calm down.
Yes, but that's just us saying that over and over and over again, because we want him to succeed, like, you know. So, and I think he needs to figure out how to preserve energy and just put that energy
into the lift.
Into the lift instead of trying to entertain the crowd for kind of like, I don't know. It should be a secondary thing, not the main thing.
The next athlete then, we have Bobby Thompson. Again, Bobby Thompson, very good overhead lifter. We see that there's an overhead medley involved. There's a circus dumbbell medley involved. So it's not surprising to see Bobby there. Next on the list then we have Thomas Evans. Thomas competed there last year as well. Put on a very good show last year. Kind of every event, I suppose. He was middle of the pack, up to the middle of the pack.
It's going to be interesting to see, can he improve by August? But in Arnold Classic, he didn't do that well. You know, I thought he can, like being a new upcomer guy, he can sort of progress a bit more rapidly every year. But it seems like he's, I don't know, in my opinion, he's a bit stagnant right now. But come August, and again, he'll get even more experience in World's Strongest Man. You never know. He might be, again, like top 5 guy or even top 3.
So the next athlete on the list, in no particular order, we have probably one athlete that we were a bit skeptical of, and this is Alexei Novikov.
Yeah, Brian said that he had a chat with him after the Europe Strongest Man competition where I think he tore the biceps.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. He says he'll be ready in August to compete in the heaviest competition of the year potentially.
Yeah, of all strongman competitions.
Yeah.
So we're talking 4 months.
Yeah, I don't.
That's 4 months now. Like if he had a surgery by now, which realistically he probably did. We see Shane Flowers already has a surgery as of Tuesday.
Yeah.
Today, as of today.
Yeah.
So it is possible that Novikov could have it done as well, but
how you get ready?
It's hard. Like you won't be able to train.
No.
To your potential.
You can do legs, but again, it's like it's not enough because
but you're no grip events.
Yeah, so you have to be able to grip it, and after the bicep surgery, because you kind of have to do a bit of a grip rehab and stuff like that. So I don't know.
It's going
how
to be,
he's thinking that he come back. It's just weird, but. Brian thinks that it's possible that he comes back. I don't know, with maybe a lot of stem cells, a lot of other supplements.
Yeah, but look, he probably just didn't want to turn down the offer. Like realistically, the strongest man on earth, he probably didn't want to pass it up. It's hard to say.
Look, I understand that in the previous video we covered when it comes to injuries and stuff like that, and I'm in my opinion, competitors trying to come back too soon. They're not listening. Doctors, one of the surgeons. And it was interesting. I read most of the comments. I think all of them. I read it. And some of the guys basically, one comment said that doctors are idiots and they know what they're talking about. And I was like, really?
Yeah, like they've done 7 years of.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like, no, you have to straight away put the kind
body
of like,
under tension, under pressure. I've seen
straight away. Like that's to me is like.
Not great.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. Like my surgeon, for example, he knows what I do. He knows what he's like. It's for
he understands.
him. He understands what I do. And I told him, it says basically after the surgery, he says at some point they'll see you again. I was like, no, I don't want to see you again. I'm good. Like he's like, nah, I'll see you again. I was like, oh my god. But I listened to him, and he knows what I do. He did the surgery when I was my first surgery when I was 27, I believe.
In a way.
Yeah. So, and after all these years, I went for the second one.
I remember when you got the second one done. And like there's no point in saying like, oh yeah, you listened. Like realistically, you did listen.
Yeah, I did.
I remember we were making the YouTube videos. You didn't touch anything for 6 months.
I took my time. It's still like and. It's better to get, as bad as it sounds, it's better to get sometimes injured when you're a bit younger because you recovery is faster. When you get injured when you're older, it's like...
Yeah, but you have the maturity then.
Yes, but the body is not the same. Like I can see even with my shoulder now, it's still it's still that the muscle mass is not there. And it's like, is it going to be like that probably for the rest of my life? I don't know, but potentially... could be the case, or after maybe 3 or 4 years without getting injured and just rebuilding muscle, maybe it's possible to restore. But when it comes to again Novikov, I don't know how he's gonna recover and get ready. And
in 4 months,
in 4 months, like I said it before again in the previous videos, repeating myself, but I would just let someone else to compete instead of me, and I don't see a problem with that because if you're coming in at 70% after the surgery, like what's the point? Again, you're going into competition and like
the likelihood of getting injured as well.
So for Novikov to finish top 5, I just don't see it after the surgery.
The next athlete then on the list, and I think we can both agree on, is a very good pick, and that is Matt Ragg.
Yes.
Like we see Matt Ragg only recently did a 460 kilo deadlift.
Yes, with a suit, but it was comfortable. It was a very comfortable 460. He bet Midge Hooper. In Giants Live competition, so he's a deserving invite, and there's
he's on a very.
He doesn't compete much, so we don't know, like what kind of like shape he will be in World's Strongest Man. But I think he should be on a list, and it's great that he is.
It's like you mentioned as well. Like Matt Ragg is probably one of only few people can say that I bet Mitchell Hooper in
Yes,
competition.
yeah, in
And
these
that's-
2 or 3 years, you know, that
like,
he's
that's a
kind of
great
dominating
accolade.
now. Yeah, it is 100%.
The next athlete then, we have Lucas Hatton. Now, Lucas, there's been some rumours recently. We don't know how true they are, but from the sounds of it, it seems to be going around the space a good bit. And that is that Lucas has turned down a spot at World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
Now, look, however true it may be, we don't know. But for him to get chosen now to probably the strongest show of the year.
Yeah.
When you see Lucas's results recently, like at Arnold UK, he did very well. When you see his PBs for logs and axles, like 200 kilos, like it's very good for, say, a new guy that's coming through, especially since he won official strongman games.
Yeah.
So like, still very recently, only in November he won it, and now he's going to be competing at Strongest Man on Earth in August.
The real question should be like, did you really refuse to compete in World's Strongest Man?
See, I don't know. Like, we can see like there's speculation that he might have.
I saw his comment that he left on the Brian's video. You know, that he's honored to be invited to Shaw Classic, and we see some posts as well, speculations that he promised to compete some other competition.
Rainer Classic.
Yes, yeah. So again, we don't know how legit is the information that is out there, but I would never refuse to compete in World's Strongest Man. Especially it's like his first invite, pretty much, you know, and to pick some other competition over the World's Strongest Man, it just, I don't know what's his. If he did that, I don't understand his reasoning behind it.
Prestigious competition.
It is. It's like, is it the most prestigious? Probably a lot of people will try to argue the point that it's not anymore. It still is. And anyway, I'm glad that there's like Arnold Classic, World's Strongest Man, now Shaw Classic. We all have now sort of opinion about Rogue Invitationals as well. It's being more like a.
Yeah, like there's some people on either side of the fence.
Yeah, it's like it's not like a class as being like the biggest competition, because it's more like a marketing competition or something.
Look,
like
biggest for prize money doesn't mean prestige.
Yeah. That's kind of accurate definition of Rogue at the moment. But I hope I would love to know his reasoning why if he did that, why. But maybe hopefully he will address to someone. I don't know.
Next athlete then we have Luke Stolman. So again, met Luke there last year. He competed at Shaw Classic.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't probably his best competition, however, but he kind of knew that from when you were talking to him, whatever it may be. But like Luke, we see him now. He's back to his top.
He won Europe's Strongest Man.
Back to the top that he, like, what, 2 years ago, 2021, we won it last. You kind of see that fire is back in him, as Bill Kazmaier would say, the fire in his belly.
Yeah.
But like, you can see that Luke was back to where he was 2 years ago, which is great to see. Next athlete then, and again, another guy that we can say is very deserving, is Ivor Schmaustelis. He's probably one of the only few guys that are competing at the top level that are competing consistently, like year round.
Dude is not getting injured.
He's not getting injured. Like, it's,
we don't want to jinx him, but
I think it's fair to say that Ivor's is like probably definitely. There's no point in even questioning Ivor's,
especially now with the second place in Europe's Strongest Man. Like, and
like it's
the closest competition probably ever.
Yeah,
when it comes to the stones between him and Luke Saltman, but other than that, deserving invite.
Next guy then we have is Pavlo Cardiaca. Now, former Europe's Strongest Man. We've seen he competed as well in Europe's Strongest Man this year. However, it wasn't his finest competition, you could probably say.
No, it wasn't. The year that he won, the events really suited him.
The Conan's Wheel was one of the major ones.
And so I don't know how to like.
Look, when you're going to the raw deadlift, I suppose, it's not going to suit him.
No.
You're talking about the overhead medley, it will suit him. Like, he's very good overhead.
Yeah, he's good, yeah.
Cake toss, hard to know. Manhood stones probably won't suit him as such.
No,
the squat for reps, he's probably a decent squat.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Circus dumbbell medley, that will suit him.
Yeah.
And then you've got the fingers, and power stairs, probably won't suit him.
Yeah, because like, it's very hard to know. Yeah, but I thought like they're gonna look, when it comes to invitations, they're gonna really look into Europe's Strongest Man as well finishes when it comes to inviting guys from Europe. But Brian apparently thinks that he's a deserving invite, and I don't know.
Look, it's fair to say, but I think the Strongest Man on Earth is a static strength. Now
Yeah.
there is obviously movement in it, but you have to be really statically strong.
Yeah, like so the question would be like, is there someone else for the invitation when it comes to invitation to the Shaw Classic? I don't know, but again, there's so many guys who kind of like got injured, and
It's so hard to know.
yeah, so I guess we'll wait and see how we can perform in such a heavy competition.
So the final athlete to round out the athletes that we know will be competing is Austin Andrade. So people who don't know, Austin Andrade won last year's Shaw Classic Men's Open, and I think like from the looks of it, he won it by like a very close margin.
Yeah.
But still, we talked to him after day one, and he was very happy with the resounding kind of lead that he had. I think he had a larger lead going through day one than he finished. Austin, look, he's a very statically strong guy as
Very
well.
statically
Like
strong,
he's
yeah.
he's very bulky.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get over like how strong he is. Like it's very
To me, he looks a
mad.
bit like Trey Mitchell.
yeah.
I
He's
know.
very similar to Trey Mitchell.
Yeah,
The
so
build,
I
everything,
think
even the
he's
strength
just,
wise.
is he
They are
bigger?
training partners.
Yeah. So they kind of like
Yeah.
very similar to each other.
Very nice guy as well.
Yeah.
Like you could tell by him that he's die-hard strongman.
Yeah.
He loves strongman,
Yeah.
which is always good to see. Like I said, that was 14 athletes. We do have 16 athletes competing, but we do not know the last two. Like I said at the start of the video, and Brian said in his own video, there's 10 athletes roughly lined up for the last two spots. So it all more than likely depends on the world's strongest man finishing.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be
that's going to be a big one, because after the world's strongest man, we don't really have any other big competition, you know. So I think he'll base another 2 invites just on the world's strongest man competition, the outcome of it, you know. So and who can get those 2 spots is like Brian was saying, it's between like 10 people. That's gonna be a crazy battle, but it's good for them as well, because it's kind of a motivation for them. Because the better they perform in World's Strongest Man, the bigger possibilities that they're gonna be invited in August to Shaw Classic.
So those were the 14 athletes. We'd love to know in the comment section down below what you think. Are you happy with the 14 athletes? Do you think there was someone that was completely overlooked that should have deserved a spot? And as well as that, we'd love to know who you think the final 2 spots are going to go to.
The Shoewinkle guy.
Jacko Schoenwinkel,
Yeah.
very strong.
Yeah, so
Statically as well,
Yeah,
strong.
he did really well last year in World's Strongest Man, so he might earn an invite as well. It's good that it's like wide open, like, you know. So it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be really interesting to see the World's Strongest Man.
We could talk about this for hours and hours. Like I said, we'd love to know down below. Give us your opinion on the 14 athletes and the 2 athletes that aren't named yet. If you made it this far in the video, make sure to press the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to press the bell icon. It'll keep you up to date with everything that's Lalas Brothers. And we'll see you in a future video.
See you later, guys.